Bro, getting a job in this UK has become extremely difficult. Like never like before. Bro, 5 to 6 years ago, it never used to be this difficult.
The job market in the UK is so bad. In the past 3 months, I've applied to probably about 500 jobs now. I've been working since I was 17 years old. I'm currently 28. I went to university, I have a degree in journalism, and nobody's hiring. The cheek of it is the BBC did a whole story on how people are not able to get jobs. I'm like, I've been applying to you lot for the past 3 years. You're not even giving me a chance. I have the skills, I'm highly educated, I have the ability to learn, but still I'm not getting anything. How am I supposed to live this life? It's just doing my head in like, this is affecting me so much. I'm stressed every day. I'm crying all the time. All because I can't get a job. How do you expect people to live? How do you expect people to survive? This affects people's mental wellness.
This is the most outrageous video you're going to see this week. That I am able to work within different departments, pulling everybody together, managing calls, meetings to ensure that we reach our ultimate goal and deadline.
You demonstrate your trustworthiness and ability to manage large projects by developing and growing teams, collaborating across departments, and ensuring everyone works together to meet deadlines. Would you like to add anything before we wrap up?
That's all.
That concludes our questions for today. It was nice speaking with you.
Nice speaking with you too. What you saw there is me having a whole job interview with an AI system. So I applied for a job. They sent me an email. They said, yo, pick one of these dates that's suitable for you. I picked one call. They sent me a link to the interview. You're going to be speaking to this person. They gave me a name. The time comes, I click on the link. AI just asking me questions and questions and questions. And you know, when you're speaking to someone, you can get that feeling of when, okay, you know, we're about to wrap up. With an AI, but it's just going on forever. In this world right now, you're mean to tell me a company of between 50 to 90 people, no one has 15 to 20 minutes to have a conversation with me about this job. My CV has the skill set, the experience, it shows my drive, my ambition, all of that. But for me to get that across to you, you need to speak to me.
5 to 6 years ago, people, if they didn't like a job, whilst they were in the job, apply for a different one and, you know, transition to the, next job. But in this modern day and age, that's just almost self-sabotaging because it has just become so hard to acquire a job. It's become so difficult. It's very infuriating how difficult it's been, especially for me. I can only speak in my experience. It's become extremely difficult to acquire a job, in this UK. I've been applying after applying. Bro, I've put in like probably 200, 300 applications. It has such a bad impact on your mental health, when you just putting so much effort, in the job application. Some people don't even get interviews. And when you get that call back or get that email back saying, unfortunately, it dims the spirit of hope that you have within. It just dims it, and it's not good for your mental and psychological health as well. You don't feel like you have purpose. You just feel like such a failure. You go into this great depression. You don't want to go out because you can't go out. You can't go out. Where's the money? If you have investment plans for the future, you can't even save towards it. Where's the money to save for it? If you even want to buy fancy clothes, you can't. Well, not fancy, just clothes for yourself, good clothes. You can't even do that because you don't have a job. That's how infuriating it's been for young people, myself alike. And that's due to the taxes the Labour government put on businesses. So because of that, businesses have had to reduce the amount of staff they hire. They've had to reduce the amount of staff they hire, the amount of job opportunities they put out there, vacancies and stuff. They've had to reduce that because of the cost of hiring, cost of employment, the tax as well. So they put out fewer roles with more responsibility. That leaves like 500 people applying for one job. And for those of the Nigerians where they, that are back home and stuff and saying, oh yeah, when I get abroad in Canada, UK, I'm going to get a job easily. Your nepotism back home or in African continent, right, it is not going to work here because here meritocracy is practiced at large. So for one job, you're behind like 300 people. It's not someone who knows someone unless you're a trust fund kid over here. So I'll give you some stats from the Office for National Statistics UK. It says the UK job market in late 2025 shows a cooling trend. Unemployment is rising around 5.0 to 5.1%. Vacancies are falling under 730,000, and economic inactivity is easing, with more people seeking work but fewer roles available. fewer than that. It's very hard on young people. And when we have plans and goals and ambitions, and we need money to carry out those plans, goals, ambitions, and dreams in terms of investment, you just feel so useless when you can't do that. You feel so worthless when you can't put that into practice. The expectancy from friends and family as well, and quite ultimately, in my experience, the disrespect, talking to you and looking down on you as if you're a failure. Yeah, I got a few interviews coming up. Hopefully, I get it. Fingers crossed. Yeah, and I feel employers as well somewhat make it hard as well because they be asking the most unnecessary questions in the interviews. Like I went one to the other day. You're asking me about my parents. Are they still together? Really? What the hell does that have to do with a 20-hour checkout role? Make that make sense. Did you graduate college or uni?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What the hell does that have to do with customer service? I have the experience. I have history of working in retail and customer service and supermarket chains. Ask questions related to the role. So I feel employers, they just make it hard unnecessarily. Put your thoughts, comments, concerns down below. Share your experience. I want to hear. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.